In 1953, a Swiss expedition marched into Nepal toward an unclimbed giant. Armed with maps, hope, and a single photograph, only to discover that Dhaulagiri would test not skill alone, but survival itself.
Hey, glad you're here. Welcome to the Himalayan Journals. Here on this channel, we bring to you real stories from century old field notes. We try to keep it simple and calm here. Think of it as a documented history of the Himalayas from the early 1900s, covering stories of indigenous wisdom, epic expeditions, and groundbreaking science, passed on just as they were recorded. Subscribe, zone out, binge.
In the spring of 1953, the Zurich Academic Alpine Club set its sights on Dhaulagiri, an unconquered 8,000-meter peak, rising to 23,810 feet. With 150 members and supported by the Swiss Alpine Club and other national bodies, the expedition carried both ambition and experience. Bernard Lauterberg, 60 years old and remarkably vigorous, led the party, with André Roque as second in command. In Nepal, the team was completed by 10 Sherpas under Angtharke, who insisted on being 10 rather than 9, which they considered unlucky. After a perilous flight, the expedition landed at Pokhara on the 13th of April. From there, 70 ponies carried loads along narrow, dangerous tracks, sometimes tearing packs open against stone walls. One container fell into a ravine, spilling its sugar as it vanished. 3 days later, 120 porters carried the baggage to Muri, the last village before the unknown gorges of the Mayangdi Kola. Many porters were frightened, poorly clothed, and demanded high wages. During this delay, Pfister and Roque lost themselves in the jungle and were forced to bivouac at 3,000 meters without food, rejoining the party exhausted. The approach was slow and arduous. Torrents had to be crossed on fallen trees like tight ropes, sometimes dragged into place with ropes and ice axes. Bamboo forests blocked the way and were cut down with kukris. In 3 days, the caravan advanced only a few miles. At last, on the 20th of May, base camp was established in a birch wood at 3,500 meters below the Mayangdi Glacier. It was the lowest base camp Roche had known, but the most beautiful. Most porters were paid off and left. 6 coolies remained, though 3 soon departed. The remaining 3 were Benjamin, called the businessman, Tarzan, and another companion. Contrary to expectations, the glacier presented no serious difficulty. Because base camp lay far from the mountain itself, the team had to travel nearly 15 kilometers up the glacier before beginning the real climb. For 18 days, they carried loads and explored possible routes. Knowledge of the North Face was limited to a single photograph from the French expedition of 1950. To observe it, a small camp was pitched at 17,000 feet on a neighboring peak. During this reconnaissance, Angtharke narrowly escaped death when a cornice broke away beneath him. He survived by clinging to the slope, breaking himself as the snow slid past, and soon continued climbing despite the fall. By 26th May, Camps 1 through I-4 had been established. Camp 4 stood at about 19,500 feet on the north side of Dhaulagiri. From there, the West Ridge rose nearly 6,000 feet above, broken by steep slopes and a distinctive bulge shaped like a half-pear. Camp Fies was placed at about 21,500 feet on this immense face. The plan now depended on climbing the pear to gain the ridge. On 29th May, the climbers at Camp the Four watched Peter Braun and Rudy Schatz ascending from Camp 5, following 3 Sherpas tasked with carrying oxygen and opening a track. From the top of the pear, Braun and Schatz put on their oxygen masks and began climbing toward the ridge. Below them, the 3 Sherpas descended a large couloir to the right. Suddenly, they were no longer moving normally. They were falling, enveloped in clouds of snow, accelerating toward a sheer ice wall hundreds of meters below. The watchers believed nothing could stop them. A rucksack flew ahead, then disappeared. Somehow, the mass of snow and men crossed 2 crevasses and came to rest about 200 meters from the wall. A rescue party was organized at once. Yet, half an hour later, the Sherpas stood up and walked back toward the track as if nothing had happened. They had survived with little more than a grazed chin and a scratch. Their ice axes alone were lost, left embedded in the north face of Dhaulagiri. 2 days later, Braun and Schatz again attempted the ridge from the top of the pear, reaching about 25,000 feet. The rocks proved too difficult, and without pitons, they were forced to turn back. André Roch himself had earlier reached about 24,000 feet and concluded that no campsite could be established higher up. Without a place, even for a single tent, success was impossible. Before leaving the Mayangdi Glacier, Lauterberg and Pfister explored other cols and returned via Tukucha, visiting Muktanath on the way. Others completed further reconnaissance from the south. The summit remained unattained, yet the expedition had mapped the mountain's dangers and possibilities. Dhaulagiri had resisted them, but it revealed its grandeur, and that was something the climbers carried home, along with the enduring knowledge of how formidable the mountain truly was.